Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that tells us truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers that across the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect, to USA. Shalom. So let's jump straight into it. So there's an article from newspunch.com, one of my favorite sites to go to for info, and the title of this article is called Rockefeller Pumps Millions into Psychological Research to Create More Convincing C19 Narratives. So basically what Esau is saying is that their deception is no longer working as it did before. All right, their expectation is being cut off as far as that counsel, which is all scriptural. And we'll just start off with that, by the way. Let's go to Psalm 33:10. All right, so it says, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. Okay, and that's what you see. The counsel of Esau Edom is being brought to naught due to the light, this truth, that is beginning to shine in the darkness, and that is revealing the wicked deeds of the wicked and what their true motives are. And people are starting to see that, and so they're fleeing away from what this man is doing. All right, for a long time, this man used the media to manipulate the minds of the people, to get them to submit unto their will, all right, with the motto of Order Ko, and this witchcraft in general. As the scripture say, this man labored, witchcraft from his youth. Ever since these people came into power, that's what they did. They went out to deceive the nations, as you get in Revelation, the 20th chapter, all right, by covering over the faces of the judges that would be the Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And they would set up their own false kingdom by the way of deception. But we're in a time now where the Lord is overshadowing, or he's shining light on that deception, you see. And so again, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua bringing the counsel of the heathen to naught. He making the devices of the people of none effect. So the counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Okay, to all of the elect throughout all generations. And he has revealed his thoughts unto us today. All right, which is to know the secrets of what these devils are doing, man. All right, and this is ultimately overcoming Esau Edom and his wickedness. All right, so let's read some of this real quick. The Rockefeller Foundation has revealed that it is pumping millions of dollars into Mercury Project, a behavioral science research program which is seeking to understand why huge numbers of people around the world refuse to submit to the C19 jab. All right, so they finding different people to go into different nations to ask people, okay, what's the reason why you don't want to take the C19? All right, let me just scroll through real quick, scan through. Okay, so it says mass formation psychosis Mercury groups will be deployed in multiple nations and regions and will study the jab refusal and medical disinfo that leads to it. They are operating with the intent to tailor jab narratives to fit different ethnic and political backgrounds. That's targeted towards you jakes, looking for the key to the gates of each cultural kingdom and convincing them to take the jab. All right, so no one's falling for Esau's bullshit, at least not as they were before. All right, and that shows you that Esau is losing his power. All right, he is in straits. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that before we play that video. All right, what is that, Job? The 20th chapter and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, we understand that word wicked goes back into laborer, all right, or worker. So people are starting to see this man's witchcraft, his deception. And so he's in a position of difficulty trying to accomplish his NWO. All right. And so let's go back and play this video. And this is what Esau has done, for some time now, as we know. All right. And which these things are being revealed to us today and to the world, how this man gets down. So let's play this real quick and we'll get back into the scriptures.
Multiple mainstream media outlets have been caught reading from the same script and advancing an identical propaganda narrative following the FBI raid on former President Donald Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. Numerous media outlets read from the exact same script, repeating a similar talking point following the raid, saying, "Sources say there's been a strong reaction to the raid on extremist and QAnon-related forums." The official narrative pushed by these mainstream media outlets attempts to use guilt by association to tarnish criticism of the raid. According to the media, anybody who criticizes the unprecedented raid on the home of US President is a conspiracy theorist calling for violence.
Sources tell ABC News there's been a strong reaction to the raid on extremist and QAnon-related forums.
Sources say there's been a strong reaction to the raid on extremist and QAnon-related forums.
Sources also telling ABC News there's been a strong reaction from some extreme groups online, including QAnon and other groups.
There's been a strong reaction to the raid on extremist and QAnon-related forums,
including those that were active before January 6th.
including those that were active prior to January 6th, including those that were active prior to January 6th,
Involved in the January 6th insurrection,
including those that were active prior to the January 6th riot.
Some have been calling for violence and even a civil war.
Some of them include calls for violence and even a civil war. Some of them include calls for
violence in online forums.
Yeah, so you see how they get down, all right? You get the narrative. And so as they're targeting online activity, doing this QAN or QAnon, whatever you call it, and online extremists, all right? All that stuff is centered around what the prophets are speaking, all right? As it's written, this man would not be able to hide himself, as you get in Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, all right? Because he's been made bare. He's been exposed. So Jeremiah 49:10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself. And that's why he's doing all this deception, all right? Trying to get the senses upon the people, and trying to see, why exactly are people not taking the jab, all right? And he's blamed it on misinformation. So it says his seed is spoiled and his brother and his neighbor, and he is not. All right, eventually this man is going to come to naught. So ever since these people came into power, they depended on their witchcraft, their sorcery, and I was being stripped away from them. All right, Isaiah 47 and verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments, okay, your witchcraft. To the right, it says your magical charms, which comes with their media, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, ever since they came in the power during the Renaissance, okay? They labored in wickedness and witchcraft. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit, you see? If so be, thou mayest prevail. It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. So these big think tanks are right, the Davos, the G7 summit meeting, these are the councils of the wicked, and these are the heathen nations, and they're weary, all right? Because ultimately behind the scenes, they're talking about this truth and how they're going to deal with it, okay? Amidst the big cover-up, all right, the smoke screens dealing with everything else. So this in the Hebrew, Strong's H3811, it says to be weary, be impatient, be grieved, be offended. And he's grieved by this truth. It says to be weary, be impatient, to be tired of something. Yeah, this nigga is tired. He's weary. He's wearying himself, all right? He's exhausted. He's tired of hearing what? This truth. As the scriptures say, a dreadful sound is in his ears. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Then we'll go back. All right. He's tired of hearing about this truth. because he's been exposed and made naked. So yeah, in Job 15:21, a dreadful sound is in his ears. And what is that? That's this new song that the prophets are speaking about his destruction. It says, in prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. We understand that the ultimate destroyer is Yahweh Bashim Shah. And this is what we're telling this man. So he's not, sound in his mind because of it. Matter of fact, when you go to Jeremiah 50, and 43, it says, the king of Babylon, which is Esau, have heard the report of them. They've heard about this gospel from the prophets. It says, and his hands waxed feeble, anguish took hold of him, and pains as a woman in travail. So we see that Esau is not, in a position of coasting with his NWO. He's in straits. He's worried. So again, Isaiah 47:13, thou art weary. This nigga's tired of hearing what we talking about. In the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and say thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right, we just read about the destroyer that's going to come upon them. You see? And that's going to be when these missiles are shot over here in the midst of World War III. That's going to completely destroy the counsel of the wicked. So verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They should not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There should not be a coal to warm it, nor a fire to sit before it. All right? So this is what Esau has coming to him, complete destruction of his NWO. And that's going to begin with America being annihilated off the face of the earth. All right? So from there, let's go to, Isaiah 44. And this is all done through the speaking of the prophets. All right. So Isaiah 44, and we'll start at verse 24. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, thy Redeemer, all right, which is Yahweh Shah, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah, that maketh all things. Yeah, the left hand and the right hand, all right, the righteous and the wicked. That stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by itself, that frustrateth the tokens of the liars. You see, he's bringing the counsel of the heathen to naught. He's frustrating the signs of the liars, their deception. Okay, it's not working anymore. And make a diviners mad or foolish. Okay, that turn a wise man backward and make the knowledge foolish. It says that confirmeth the word of his servant. You see, so what we're speaking, from the scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shah, the Lord is confirming it. It's been made manifest. And performeth the counsel of his messengers, okay, that said to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah you shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. And he's doing that now by building up these spiritual blocks. That's the elect, all right? So the Lord is confirming the word that we're speaking through the scriptures. So from there, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 1. All right, and we'll start at verse 7. For the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid. Right? Who is speaking that unrighteous thing? That would be Esau Edom, first and foremost. So he cannot be hid any longer. Neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by him. So inevitably, right, eventually, when the Lord brings his vengeance, Esau is not going to escape with the spoils. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and it's been done right now. And the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. You see? So as the prophet speaks his word, is literally causing this man to become weary and faint-hearted because he's being cut through the spirit. All right? So Ecclesiastes 8:4, where the word of the king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? So what does that mean? Where the word of a king is, there is power. So Yahweh Shema Shah, being the ultimate king, has sent his word down unto his prophets. And so in return, all right, that's causing things to move. And who can come against the counsel of Yahweh Shema Shah? You see? So this is what's happening. And the Lord said that Esau would go down, and we're seeing that happen. So Isaiah 55:11, and we'll close it out. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth from the prophets. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. You see that? So the counsel of the heathen is being brought to naught, and all we gotta do is sit back and wait on the Lord's salvation. So Psalm 37:32, it says, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. You see that? So the wicked are watching, you know, what we're doing on the highways and byways, and they're seeking to secretly slay us. The Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Speaking about the elect. All right, so wait on the Lord and keep his way, which means to stay in his truth, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. See that? And that's the conclusion of the whole matter. All right, when Esau is cut off, then we will be raised up in our stead, our rightful place of rulership. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Till next time I say, Shalom.